Qual é meu bonde geek com vocês, trazendo um vídeo de CSGO hoje um pouco diferente, um pouquinho mais diferente do que a gente está acostumado a ver. Um vídeo em que eu conversei com o Elige no ano passado no ESL, no ESL Pro League 5 em Dallas, o ESL de 2017, lá em Dallas. A gente vai ter agora o ESL Dallas 2018. Eu tinha essa gravação aqui há muito tempo, eu decidi não publicar na época porque o áudio estava muito ruim, eu não gostei da qualidade de nada que foi feito lá no evento. E o meu inglês estava muito ruim na hora, eu tinha acabado de descobrir que eu tinha perdido os meus arquivos do primeiro dia e tudo mais. Mas agora, depois de um ano, eu acho que não seria um problema eu liberar essa entrevista que foi feita com ele, junto de uma entrevista que eu fiz com o Oscar também, que eu vou liberar em outro vídeo que vai sair daqui a pouco, eu acho que talvez até junto desse vídeo daqui. Então, só pra gente ter uma ideia, essa entrevista aconteceu há um ano atrás, a Liquid tinha acabado de adicionar o Twists na saída do Pimp. A Liquid vinha numa série de resultados ruins e conseguiu chegar até a semifinal depois de muito tempo, né, caindo na fase de grupos, conseguiu chegar à semifinal do ESL Pro League 5 lá no ano passado com essa entrada do Twist. Então foi quando começou a dar a melhora, né, de qualidade da Liquid. Ao mesmo tempo, a Immortals tinha acabado de tirar o FNX e repor com o KNG, então havia muita gente falando sobre a possibilidade do Elige entrar na Immortals, por ele falar português e tudo mais, então eu quis explorar isso um pouquinho na entrevista, beleza? Então curte aí, já falei muito, valeu e até mais.
Estamos aqui agora com o Elige, jogador da Liquid, um cara que todo mundo admira demais, né? Foi um dos jogadores que mais chamou a atenção dos brasileiros, principalmente agora com essa movimentação da Immortals. Vou conversar um pouquinho com ele, talvez ele esteja entendendo a maior parte do que eu estou dizendo, diferente dos outros jogadores, talvez não, mas... So, Elige, how was the, coming through the group stage and getting out of it and reaching the playoffs? I mean, were you expecting this, or was just like something that you guys were not aiming, but we got it?
So for this event, we kind of set out goals for what we wanted to achieve for just like attainable goals, and our goal for this event was to get out of groups, and that was something that we achieved and more, getting to the semifinals. So we were really happy just getting there in general, and we wanted to keep doing more, but we unfortunately couldn't. But just us getting out of groups was like a check mark in our book for like something that we achieved.
Okay, and you guys just add in twists, and it's been like a adaptation time, but you guys seem doing better than you were before. How is he fitting like the team, and is he doing a different role? Any of you had to change your roles? How's it going?
So he fit in pretty well. He basically went into all the spots that we needed, but those are all the spots that he actually plays, so it was a super good fit, and he plays the spots really well. So I think that our mindset and our atmosphere in the team is a lot better than it was before, and it makes everyone more willing and more happy to play, which brings comms up and makes people want to play more and improve their individual skills. So I think bringing in Twitch has had a really positive impact on our team.
Okay, you might have understand a part of it when I started the interview. I don't know if you heard about that, but many Brazilians, really a great part of the community, just was claiming that you should be the player that should go into Immortals instead of KNG before he was chosen, right? And how do you feel about this this kind of I don't know how to say that, but the type of encouragement and support that you receive from Brazilians?
I think it's really amazing, and it really encourages me to keep on going. And it's really cool to see like how supportive the fans are, especially like when they like the team or the player. Like seeing all the support that the SK guys get, especially when they stream, and especially like when if I ever go into like a stream and I just start like typing in the chat, which I do really often. I love going to Brazilian streams and just like watching and like talking back to everybody. It's really good for like me to learn, and it's just really enjoyable for me. Honestly, it's made my CS career a lot more fun. Like just talking to the Brazilian fans all the time, like it's actually made my life a lot more enjoyable.
And how did you come to learn, like to have the start into the language? Because everyone says like, many people try to learn Portuguese, but it seems like a bit difficult. Do you have any kind of strategy that you used, or you're just watching streams and talking to the guys and it happens? How did it work?
So I had a lot of background in Romance languages, specifically Spanish. I took Spanish for 4 years in high school, and it was my best subject by far, and Portuguese grammar is very similar, so I was very confident going into it. I really wanted to start learning it, especially because for me personally, I've always been interested in like learning other languages, and I've never been able to do it just because I haven't been that confident, or I haven't had the resources or the drive to really do it. But with Portuguese, I've really like felt that drive, and I know in my mind I'm going to be able to do it, and by next year I know I'm going to be fluent. So for me, I'm basically doing like Duolingo things, Duolingo.com. It's a language learning site. You can also do it for learning English if you're Brazilian. And aside from that, I'm watching streams every day. I have Brazilian streamers that I watch all the time. I always watch like the Brazilian broadcast, and I try to hear words and sound recognition all the time. I also am watching Gamers Club, the videos for it. They have like the point of views from the guys on SK on there, and I have a really good friend of mine named Pedro. He's doing some of the transcript and translation for me, and I'm paying him for that. And like it's basically a video where like it's them scrimming. Like you've probably seen them, and he's writing down like everything they say and then the translation under it, and it's really impactful for me to want to keep learning because it's something that I enjoy watching, and it's something I'm learning from a lot. So like if I see any words that I don't know, I'm gonna write those down and I'm gonna put them in flashcards and I'm gonna keep learning them over and over again. So it's been like really encouraging for me to like have all these resources available to me.
This is just amazing. I didn't know this. You had this investment into the language. But do you think maybe now you told me all that? Do you think that your future maybe could be something around language and maybe a teacher, maybe someone that travels abroad? Do you think of something like this, or do you want to keep playing until you like reach, I don't know, 40 years like the guys from VP?
I want to keep playing as long as I possibly can. And especially with learning Portuguese, I think that all the teams from Brazil are going to be really good like all the time. I don't see like the scene in Brazil like going down anytime soon. So if anything like would happen, I mean, I'd always consider it if anything went wrong. So I don't really think I'd ever be a good teacher. So that's definitely not an option for me.
Okay, I got it. Let me ask you something more about the Brazilians coming to the US and getting spots into your league. We've seen like Immortals coming, and then firstly SK, and then Immortals as they were LG, and now the second phase of LG, let's say like this. And we had other teams abroad like Red Reserve, which was from the guys outside, and now we have FNX with no team. He's like free agent right now, and there are a lot of rumors about him coming back to US and getting a team with him. What do you think about players from other countries coming to US and getting a org here and just making a team and running for the American League? Is this something that bothers you a bit, or you think that maybe it's a problem with Valve that should invest in a American scene, South American scene? How do you see this question?
So I don't really see a problem with it at all. I mean, for the Brazilian side of it, I think that it's a lot easier for them to come in and stick with it, just because when they do it, it's all five of them and they're really familiar with each other and they're all friends with each other. But when I see Europeans do it, I just feel like it's never going to last, and for the history of it, it hasn't. But I don't really see any reason to regulate it right now, just because I don't think there's any big skill difference or anything. I think that US players are just as good. It's just the problem with like communication and teamwork that needs to really be worked on. And if European players or Brazilian players can help improve that, I think it helps the scene in general. Like, I think ever since SK got here, the entire scene of NA has gotten better individually and team-wise. So I think it's good for everybody.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
Okay. So I'm going to cut it. All right. So you want to just say was like, oh man, muito obrigado pelo, thank you for your support and stuff like that's just good. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Obrigado pelo seu apoio. Eu estou muito feliz pelo todos apoio vocês me dão. Honestly, I'm like too nervous to do it. I'm too nervous to do it.
It's okay.